I mean, Royal Irish Cathedral was good for years, pretty good, and now it's become you're in the final every year. Not to say anything about anybody beforehand, but what did you bring, or what does your coaching staff bring, or what is the tradition?
Well, we've had a consistent coaching staff the whole time. I mean, there's a couple new guys that have come on board when I did, and since then. But it's I think maybe I bring a little bit different approach to the coaching style. But in the end, it's the kids, and we've got really good kids, and they play hard. They always play to the moment, and that's what it is. They're tough. They're good kids. They work hard, and that's what it is. And they're good rugby players. About half of our kids or so or more have played prior to high school, and that's a huge thing. I mean, it'd be wrong to kind of dismiss that and say we're turning these guys into. I mean, they've got coaching. They know how to play rugby. We just fine tune it and.
This is John Rogers, the wing, try scorer, goal kicker. And we're going to talk about a little controversial call. We'll see what happened there. So, John, first of all, goal kicking, so important when it's rainy, it's muddy, playoff rugby. Do you put things out of your mind? Do you feel the pressure? What's going on?
Well, it's all pretty much a mentality for me. I mean, after I made that first kick, I was a little shaky in the beginning, and after I made that, I really focused in and was like, oh, I can do this. It's not as much of a problem as it should be.
Right.
So.
Now, you missed your second.
Yeah, I did miss my second.
But you had one from pretty much the same spot after that. So.
Yeah, and then I made that one. And so, I mean, it was kind of like the second kick I was a little nervous too because it was a closer game at that point. And it was 0-0 in the beginning. But, after that, we started to get a lead, and it was pretty easy.
Right, so you had the lead. This is very muddy. If you haven't seen the game, this is what we're telling you about. Muddy, wet. All that stuff. They had to kick a lot.
Yeah.
And you were part of that deep three, the two wings and the fullback, bringing the ball back. Do you talk to each other about that? How do you approach that?
Well, we're pretty much communicating the whole time. And so we're always yelling, like, hold the ball, man on, everything. And just it's all communication thing. We wouldn't be able to do it without the other person standing next to us.
So there was a kick to the corner, and you're chasing after it, and they're sort of running in, and you reach around. And then what happened?
Well, he called me and said I got a knock-on.
Okay.
But I think that's a little controversial because if it was a knock-on, that would mean that I had my hand on the ball, which would mean that I had downward pressure. So,
there you go. All right.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Now you did have a really nice kick and chase try earlier in the week, yesterday.
Yeah.
And I like that because there, water everywhere. I liked how you slid past the ball and then touched it down. So if you did fumble, it went backwards.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean. It's pretty much. I've been looking forward to that the whole tournament too. So
okay.
Been wanting to slide. And
everybody got the slip and slide. John, congratulations. What are some of the things you just really like to accomplish?
I really, really love that point where I can tell that the entire forward pack hates me because I'm ruining everything that they're doing, and I'm beating on their scrum half every chance that I get, or something along those lines. I love being the player that the other team absolutely despises by the end of the game.
It's just great.
Now I'm gonna brag a little bit because I did the color commentary on the game.
Oh, okay.
And they had a line out. You're down by two players, and I said on the commentary, what would be great is if Streeter popped a kick to the opposite corner away from all those people because you're outmatched. So let's make a one-on-one. It's exactly what you did. Wiley goes in and scores a try. What were you thinking about that time? Did that just come to you, or did you hear me? You probably heard me.
Probably heard.
Yeah. Well,
no. So
So I got into open field with a fullback, and I saw another wing chasing, and I was gonna hit a grubber through, but he was just too close to me. I just thought over his head would be.
Over the head. Yeah. Worked out beautifully, right?
Yeah.
Was our job.
When did you start playing rugby?
Actually, last year.
All right. So why?
My friend Andrew Smith actually on my
Okay.
team. We were at Sierra, and after that we came over to Granite Bay, and then here we are now.
All right. Good. And so he just talked you into it. What other sports did you play?
Yeah, he was on my football team actually. He was a running back, and I was a guard for him, and we played through freshman, sophomore. Then he's like, "Hey man, you want to try rugby? It's pretty fun. You get to run with the ball." I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah, let's do this."
You also get to play for a national championship, which
Yeah,
you don't get to
exactly.
do in high school football. What's
That
that
gets
like for
happened
you?
too.
What's that feeling?
It's awesome. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I'm very happy where I'm at.